Long before lines touch deep water, a 150-meter Longline vessel leaves port, chasing rumors of giant squid below. Steel decks replace city pavement as crew move between winches and coils, turning the ship into a floating factory.
Charts in the wheelhouse show trenches and slopes where daylight never reaches, perfect hunting ground for colossal squid. Below, coils of mainline wait in steel drums, hundreds of baited hooks soon to stretch over kilometers of dark water.
Frozen bait blocks are dragged from the hold, stacked in tubs where seawater starts to thaw them into oily strips.
Each hook must be deadly and legal. Circle hooks, sized for monsters but still designed to sit cleanly in a mouth.
Baiting becomes an assembly line as men cut, hook, and coil hundreds of pieces with almost mechanical rhythm. Outside, swell builds, but the steel hull barely flinches, built to carry lines into weather small craft avoid. In the mess, talk shifts from home to stories of strange shapes brushing lines in pitch-black water.
By late afternoon, the boat slows over deep contours where the bottom drops away into near-bottomless darkness.
At the stern, a buoy and anchor mark the starting point of a set that will stretch for miles down current.
With a hand signal from the captain, the first anchor drops, and steel cable starts paying out into blue water.
The main line follows, heavy drum turning as baited hooks slide off the rail in a stream toward deep water. Each hook carries a strip of bait and a chance, dangling in water so dark that sunlight never arrives. As sunset stains the sky, the last hooks leave the deck, and the boat finishes a set built for giants. Tail buoys mark the end of the gear, bright dots on a sea that hides kilometers of hooks below.
With the set soaking, engines idle back, and the crew grab a quick meal before the night's real work begins.
Outside, buoys drift in growing darkness, marking a line that drops from surface light into absolute black. Far below, hooks descent through the water column, baits disappearing past the last hints of fading blue light. The water grows darker and colder until the set rests near the seafloor, a suspended highway of scent.
Near one hook, a faint shimmer of motion appears, the first sign that something large has sensed the bait.
A pair of long feeding tentacles reaches from the darkness, exploring the bait with cautious, fingertip precision.
Behind them, the animal's bulk resolves into view, large but natural, a predator built for pressure and cold.
Arms spread around the bait, suckers tasting the water while the beak lines up for a careful bite.
In one smooth movement, the squid takes the bait and hook deep into its mouth, unaware of the steel inside.
As the squid turns away, the line comes tight, rotating the circle hook until it lodges cleanly at the beak.
The first surge is powerful but controlled, a long, steady pull that transmits up the line toward the surface.
Fire up, more hooks hang ready, some still idle, others now carrying faint vibrations of something heavy below.
Another shadow approaches a different bait, proof that where one giant hunts, others are often not far behind.
Within minutes, two heavy animals are hooked, each one turning night and line into its own private tug-of-war. Above, the night is quiet until a buoy jerks hard, breaking the surface rhythm and alerting the watch. A crewman leans over the rail, feeling the line vibrate like a live wire stretching deep under the boat. The captain swings the bow around, lining up the hauler with the gear so steel and hydraulics can take over the fight.
At the hauler, men brace themselves, knowing that whatever is down there weighs more than any one of them.
With a signal, the hauler bites down, and line starts creeping aboard, every meter harder than the one before.
Hooks come back bare or twisted, then suddenly one reappears with a tight line angling straight down into black water.
As the line shortens, the weight comes closer, turning smooth hauler noise into a strained mechanical growl.
Below, the hook squid resists with long, steady pulls rather than wild thrashing, built for patience, not panic.
The animal rises through layers of colder, denser water, its shape growing clearer with every meter of gain.
At the surface, the line angle suddenly jumps, and someone shouts that color is coming up fast.
A pale shape appears, first as a blur, then as arms and mantle just below the surface beside the hull.
Floodlights paint its skin in harsh white, revealing scars from other battles fought far from any human eye.
On deck, a cradle and lifting straps wait, designed to raise the squid without tearing arms or mantle. While one crewman controls the hauler, others ready tail lines, planning to guide the squid gently into the cradle.
At the rail, arms suddenly break the surface, draping over water like heavy ropes in the glare of the lights.
The crew wait for a calm moment, then lift together, guiding the head and mantle into the waiting sling.
A crane takes the weight, and the squid rises slowly, water streaming off arms onto the steel deck below.
Laid flat on the deck, the squid finally shows its true size, dwarfing the men who hauled it up from darkness. A tape measure runs from mantle tip to arm end, turning myth and guesswork into numbers in a wet logbook.
With photos taken and data logged, the crew rig ice totes and hoists, ready to move the squid below deck.
Another buoy shows heavy strain, proving that tonight is more than a one-hit wonder on this stretch of line.
All right, easy now. Take the strain. Watch the line. It's clear on the stern.
By dawn, several giants lie on ice below deck, the night's wildest work already quieted by steel and cold.
Exhausted, the crew hose down the deck, washing away only salt water and slime, not the memory of the fight.
With holds partly full, the captain points the bow toward port, trading dark trenches for shipping lanes.
Inside the hold, cold air rolls over rigid arms and mantles, slowing time until the catch reaches shore.
A logbook fills with numbers, depth, location, soak time, evidence that even mysteries can be measured.
On deck, line is coiled back onto drums, gear checked and repaired before memories of strain can fade. By the time land appears, the night's giants are just another line on a manifest bound for the dock. The big hull glides back between concrete walls, welcomed not by applause, but by forklifts and cold storage doors.
Mooring lines tie offshore risk to solid concrete, turning a dangerous hunt into simple cargo operations.
Hatch covers swing open, spilling cold vapor as the first bins of frozen squid appear in the dim hold. A crane hook drops, linking ship and shore with a chain strong enough to lift both steel and meat.
Totes rise from the hold one by one, each carrying arms and mantles that never saw sunlight until now.
Forklifts turn the landing into logistics, shuttling the night's catch toward the doors of a chilled facility.
Inside, cold air and stainless steel replace waves and salt spray, but the product is exactly the same.
Workers open the first tote, revealing pale arms coiled on ice, heavy even after a night in the hold. One animal is slid onto a table, where gravity and stainless steel replace the rolling motion of a steel deck. The mantle opens under the blade, revealing clean white flesh, nothing like the red muscle of tuna or salmon. Arms are trimmed and sorted by size, laid in neat rows that make chaos from the night look organized.
This one is definitely restaurant quality. Okay, moving this tray down the line now.
Vacuum machines seal in cold and time, turning each portion into a standardized block of potential meals.
Labels add names and numbers, species, origin, weight, information that follows the squid far beyond this cold room.
Cartons stack on pallets, Each box, a tidy summary of nights spent wrestling invisible weight from the deep.
A reefer truck's doors close on frozen pallets, swapping waves and swell for asphalt and schedules.
Hours later, city lights replace harbor cranes as the truck backs into a distributor's cold dock. Inside, pallets roll into another cold room, joining boxes from other oceans and other deep-water campaigns.
Restaurant orders strip pallets down again, diverting a few select boxes toward kitchens that specialize in the unusual.
At a city loading dock, boxes change hands once more, moving from industrial cold to the heart of a kitchen. In the walk-in cooler, the chef opens a box, revealing vacuum packs that still smell faintly of the sea. Under bright prep lights, squared portions thaw on trays, changing from frosted blocks to pliable, ivory-colored flesh.
A chef scores the surface with shallow cuts, preparing the flesh to stay tender when it hits intense heat.
On the grill, squid pieces sear quickly, edges curling as smoke carries their scent out into the dining room.
Plating turns rough chunks into something elegant, a reminder that even giants can become delicate food.
In the dining room, customers taste a species few ever see alive, let alone wrestle from a line.
A single bite carries hints of smoke, salt, and pressure, flavors from hundreds of meters below the surface.
Plates clear, leaving just a few char marks and lemon seeds, the ocean reduced to crumbs and memory.
In the kitchen, extra portions go back into the cooler, waiting for another service and another night's orders.
Outside, the restaurant lights glow against the street, hiding any hint of how far this meal has traveled. Back at the harbor, Longline gear sits coiled and clean, waiting for the next season to call it offshore.
From the pier, the ship looks ordinary, just another hull among many, its stories stored out of sight.
Inside the wheelhouse, logbooks and charts stay on the shelf, briefly resting before another campaign begins. In the warehouse, frozen cartons sit in rows, anonymous yet traceable back to specific nights and coordinates.
On the plant floor, empty tables shine, scrubbed of any sign that giants lay here only hours ago.
Dining rooms close for the night, chairs up, floors swept, the only trace of squid hiding in stacked plates.
Outside city limits, reefer trucks roll along dark highways, carrying more cartons toward distant kitchens.
Far from roads and lights, the ocean lies calm again, hiding trenches where more squid still hunt in darkness.
Below that surface, pressure and cold continue unchanged, indifferent to ships, lines, or restaurant menus. Rocky slopes and muddy plains wait in silence, future hunting grounds for squid that have never seen a hook.
Somewhere out of frame, juveniles feed on smaller prey, growing toward sizes that once existed only in stories. For now, giants and hooks are separated again, each waiting for the next encounter, written in someone's plan. At the dock, the Longline vessel rests between trips, its hull hiding the memory of one successful campaign.
Nearby, stacks of empty ice totes and spare hooks wait, ready to become part of another story from offshore. In an office above the pier, someone runs numbers, balancing fuel, prices, and risk before approving another trip.
Farther inland, a chef reads a delivery sheet, barely noticing that the line item started as a fight in Blackwater.
Out at sea, the old grounds sit empty of gear again, their silence broken only by currents and passing storms. Somewhere below that surface, more squid cruise the dark, unaware that their species now has a price per kilo.
Back at the quay, steel rusts slowly, waiting for the day when the captain decides to lay another line.
For now, giants and humans are separated by distance and time, instead of just a few millimeters of steel.
The next campaign will start the cycle again,
as long as the balance between stock, science, and demand holds.
Until then, the deep keeps its secrets, and the biggest squid alive remain unmeasured in the dark. A calm surface hides everything below, masking both predators and the technology built to capture them.
On land, few people connect a grilled ring on a plate to a tape measurement on a wet steel deck.
Even fewer imagine that this restaurant bill traces back to colossal squid hauled from a hidden trench.
For the crew, those hidden connections are obvious. They live in the gap between safe harbor and deep water.
They know that every calm day at home depends on nights spent hauling steel and flesh in heavy seas.
In the end, this is just one story among many, where the deep meets demand through a steel hull and a long line.
The ocean waits for the next departure, flat and silent, its greatest giants still moving unseen in the dark below.